everyone, and welcome. It's really good to have you here. I'm going to be working on a soap today called Patchouli Dream, which is colored with alkanet root and indigo, also a root. And I'm going to be scenting it with patchouli essential oil and a bit of Litsea essential oil. This combination is wonderful because you get the deep, sensual, dark fragrance of the patchouli, which counteracts a bit with the fruity, citrusy Litsea cubina and creates a whole new fragrance, which is just, I think, intoxicating. And this is going to be a vegan formula instead of goat milk. In this one, I'm using only aloe vera gel and aloe vera juice as the lye solution. And that also has sea salt and sugar for bubble and for hardness. And a little bit about what's been going on. In a previous video, I talked about all the damage from the ice storm that hit here in Northeast Texas. Well, I've been doing some work on the farm, which has kept me very busy, which is why it took me a while to get this video up. Lots of chainsawing and moving things. Some good, I guess some silver lining from the cloudy sky, so to speak, was that I was able to harvest a lot of pine needles from the broken pine trees. But I would much rather have my full pine trees than this abundance of needles. But hey, I do appreciate that I'm able to use them to add to my tinctures and have them for future products. And it has been very depressing, but hey, I'm feeling better. The fact that I can be here with you all, I want to thank you again for being here. I know that I've been a little sporadic since I quit my job, but it took some adjusting here. I've been reinvesting my time and doing some reorganization of my soap room, doing some planning on my future build that I talked about in another video, and learning to sleep properly. That has been probably the biggest challenge of all, getting on a sleep schedule that allows me to get the right amount of rest and still be able to get done all the things I need to get done. And so far, I've been very successful. I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. I'm going to be seeing an orthopedic doctor tomorrow. And it's about my right hip pain that I've had, along with some numbness that occasionally I get down my right thigh. I don't know why that's happening, so I'm going in to find out. I'm sure it's just a pinched nerve or something, and, but I want to find out for sure. Just like I found out through my last visit to a doctor that I had diabetes, and I've been able to make changes. I'm so proud. I've lost over 30 pounds, actually about 35 pounds now, over the last 3 months through just cutting out sugars and starches out of my diet and walking. That's all. I'm not doing any kind of strenuous exercising. That's just not me. But it's working, and I'm feeling better. I really am. I feel better than I have felt in many years. Anyway, back to the soap, right? So, yeah, the alkanet root and the indigo, I just kind of wanted them to kind of create sort of this bluish maroon color to the soap, maybe a little more purpley. By blending them, it got a little muddier, of course, and that wasn't by intention. But it happened, and I have to deal with it. It stayed nice and fluid, except for the last bits that were in the separate pitchers. Those I had to do a lot of extra stirring on just to make sure that they would pour, because it had started to thicken up. But I think that in a way I prefer that, because the top, if it's too fluid, the colors don't, they tend to really muddy up, and I wanted these colors to blend, but I didn't want them too watery and combined. So by them being thicker like this, and you'll see that with the indigo, as I pour it in here, it had really got looser from stirring it up. But overall, it's all nice and thick, and I was just able to take a skewer and just kind of blend it into the base color. Now, one thing I noticed, and it's because I wasn't paying close attention recently, is that the last 3 soaps I have made are very similar in coloration. I've used the same guy, and I didn't even realize it until I cut this soap. And I'm like, wait, this looks just like or similar to the cactus soap that I made and to the awake soap that I made, and almost in a, real close together. And I love these colors and I love the design, but I need to reach a little deeper and not be quite so dependent on just a few colors. And I do have lots of colors. I have lots of infusions. I think these were sitting in the front, and I always just grab them and use them because I'm not planning out the design well enough. So going forward, I'm going to work harder on that, trying to come up or go back to my roots. If you go back and look at some of my old videos, I was much more adventurous. I did more design in my soaps. I made custom molds and did a lot of fun things, and I've kind of got away from that. I've become more of, well, it's about the ingredients, not the design, but design matters too. Sort of going back to what I said at the beginning of this, these last 3 look very similar. So if I were at market with them, what's to differentiate them for the customer, right? These all look real similar. So these are things I'm thinking more about and trying to get back into the mindset of this as a business. And because I did have my full-time job before, this was more just sort of a bonus that I could make things and sell them. But now this is the primary means of my income. So it's more important that I concentrate my efforts a bit more. I am working on my health, as I previously mentioned. Working on got some dental work done recently. I'm working on, like I said, going to see the orthopedic doctor just to make sure everything's okay and see if there's anything else I need to do. The weight loss has helped with a lot of the little things that I had going on, and I still have a ways to go with that. I'd still like to take off about another 50 pounds to get back to my youthful weight, because I think I would feel a lot better if I did that. Well, I don't think it, I know it. Because it takes pressure off the knees, takes pressure off your feet, takes pressure off the hips. And that way I don't have to get into taking medications or doing any of those things that I really don't want to have to do unless I have to. But I do think these came out nice. I do like the color. I do like the design. But I'm going to promise you that I'm going to work on my next soap to make it look a little more divergent from the way these last few have looked, and try to come up with more original designs again. So thank you for your patience. You've stuck with me, and I appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, thank you for joining. Please make sure that you do subscribe, like the video if you did like it, or give me a thumbs down if you didn't like it. That's okay too. Leave a comment. I'm always happy to read them. I don't always have the chance to respond to them. I'm going to work on that, but right now I'm working on completing a lot of shipping, getting some orders out to my wonderful customers. Currently I have a 15% off sale on elderberry and the fire cider because, well, the winter season is ending. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you back soon. Goodbye.